Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It is, of course, the 11th today, the 11th of April 2026. How are we doing, guys? Are we all okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. A little bit cold in the northeast of England today. We've got a little bit of sleet. Temperatures dropped overnight. Not unusual because, of course, we haven't quite gone out of spring yet. But anyway, 4 for the 11th 4, law of war, belligerent forces to leave the occupied territories. Very interesting. Anyway, let's wait and see on that one, shall we? Okay, quick hello to everybody. Sheila Douglas, Jason, Jen, Leslie's in, Graham's in, Jan's in, Looney's in, Livy's in, Sharon's in, Sue Allen's in, Diane Williamson's in, and of course the lovely Vanessa. So, how are we doing? Okay. So yeah, the 11th of the 4th, ladies and gentlemen, when you do the numbers, it adds up to 7-7. Now, that's very interesting because yesterday was a 6-6 day. So if we reverse that, we've got 9-9. But if you're going to reverse something, if you're going to reverse a spell, of course, you do it in the opposite manner. And so yesterday, 6-6, today, 7-7, and tomorrow, of course, 8-8. 8-8 just happens to be on the resurrection of course, JC, the man of the moment, of course. So remember that it's Easter weekend in the Orthodox calendar. As someone's just said, 11.4. Okay, 11.4 is, of course, the Law of War Manual, which orders belligerent forces to leave occupied territories. Now, what this means is that belligerent forces who have occupied a territory need to fuck off. So basically what we're talking about here is we're talking about Washington, D.C. We're talking about the Vatican. We're talking about London, the city of Westminster, which of course is occupied by belligerent forces, so to speak. So 11-4, 4-11, May the 4th be with you. A very interesting time. So let's see what we've got. Marlon Brando. Did you know that Marlon Brando tried to bring the truth forward about Native American Indians? Unfortunately, he was turned down. Now, this is Marlon Brando, ladies and gentlemen, a very, should we say, prominent figure in the film industry back in the day. Still probably fairly prominent even today because of his name. But he was rather disgruntled about the portrayal of the Native American Indians. Now, as a boy, we were all led to believe that Native American Indians were the savages, and of course that the British colonials, or should we say the Americas, were of course the great and the good. Unfortunately, they basically tore up a lot of the peace treaties, didn't stick to their word, and that is why the Indians called them the white man has forked tongue, which means the white man speaks in two languages. On the one hand, he tells you something that you want to hear. On the other hand, he takes your land. And that's a whole nother story, isn't it, in regarding to the original Native American peoples of America. Now, we do know that many British people went to America to seek their fame and fortune at of course, the behest of the Indian people, which were the native people that had lived there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. and now, of course, you see the result of that in the American system, so to speak. So very interesting that was about Marlon Brando. Now, we've got the Artemis 2 is going to splash down apparently today. It will, of course, be noted for more bullshit. And, of course, more CGI. And, of course, more just cock one bullshit. So, if you want to believe that NASA is real, that, of course, is entirely up to you. If you take out the T in Satan, you actually do get NASA. Now, apparently, I must be a little bit behind here because the splashdown apparently was last night. Now, that would be, I think it was mentioned 5 p.m., was it? I think it was. I can't remember. But basically, that would be around about 11, 12 o'clock UK time. So America will still be asleep at the moment. So we're probably still waiting for footage or bullshit on that. So let's wait and see. Now, meanwhile, Mr. Donald Trump, of course, has transferred $10 billion from the UK taxpayer into what they call the Board of Peace. Remember the Board of Peace that they set up? This was, I think it was 23 countries paid £1 billion each to belong this Board of Peace. And that gives us a very interesting figure. Now, if 23 countries have invested 23 billion and Donald Trump has invested 10 billion from taxpayers' money, well, that gives us a very interesting 33 number. Yes. 33 keeps popping up quite often, doesn't it? As you well know, especially with these types of people in the circles, so to speak. So very, very interesting. Now, Donald Trump also tweeted out that apparently it's going to be the world's most powerful reset. This was a tweet that he put out yesterday. Meanwhile, Trump apparently has called all of the top bankers for a little chat about money. Now, got no idea. I'm just going to do that in a minute, Jason. I've got no idea what that actually means, a little chat. But, of course, it could be a little chat or a big chat, knowing Donald Trump. I do believe at this particular moment in time that we have got maybe 1, 2, or even 3 Donald Trumps knocking around, because there's some very, very, what should we say? Very, very different viewpoints. So let's just keep that in mind. Now, let's have a look at the tweet. World's most powerful reset. In gematria, this means how numbers can predict something. 17 biblical mathematical vengeance. Also, as well, they've pushed their evil too far. All we have to do is come together, and soon it is going to be the end of the game. There you go. Little bit very interesting news there. Very interesting news. Now, meanwhile, in Ireland have gone, big shout out to Ireland this morning, by the way. Ireland have gone absolutely nuts over the fuel prices, and they've decided to park their cars, buses, tractors and lorries. In fact, they've parked them on the fucking roads. Now, the Irish government, of course, is outraged by the fact that the people don't want to keep getting ripped off and have the piss taken out of them. And so, rather than the Irish government face the people themselves, they decided to send the army in. However, there could be two possible outcomes over this, which the Irish government have probably not really thought about because they're not really that clever, really. So possible one could be that the Irish military come in and basically, destroy all credibility, not only with themselves, but also with the Irish government. Or what could happen is the military could step in and basically throw the Irish government onto the streets of Ireland to be dealt with by, of course, the Irish people. Or maybe a third one, the Irish government could be arrested and shipped off to Gitmo to basically take part in the Nuremberg trials, which are coming up very shortly. So quite an interesting move there. Quite an interesting move. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, apparently as well, the government of Ireland are basically trying to find out who the actual perpetrators are, and they're going to shut down their bank accounts. Now, does that sound pretty familiar? Oh, yes, it does. Can you remember the Canadian truckers? Can you remember the American truckers? Very interesting. Seems as though the Irish government are acting similar to the communist government of Canada and, of course, America at the time. Very, very interesting as we move forward. Now, Keir Starmer has now become the Ayatollah of the UK. It seems as though, which was quite interesting because I was only thinking about this the other day, which was actually yesterday. I wrote it down last night, actually, on the paperwork while I was doing a bit of fidgeting about, and basically then Donald Trump tweeted out something about the Ayatollah. We will call him an Ayatollah or something. I can't remember the exact wording, but I was thinking, is Donald Trump reading my mind, or am I reading Donald Trump's mind? So who knows? Let's a super soldier Thacker. Let's fucking super soldier fruit and nut news. Brilliant. So we'll wait and see on that one. Now, yesterday, there was a discussion between Mark Rutte of NATO in regards to the American withdrawal of NATO. Okay, from obviously from NATO. Not sure what the outcome of that is yet. Excuse me, but we will, of course, find out. We will, of course, find out. Now, I don't know about you, but Keir Starmer, or should we say the Ayatollah Starmer, rushed off to Saudi Arabia to gather with all of the other Ayatollahs to have a chat in regards to the ceasefire. Now, not quite sure of the carbon footprint or the economic situation regarding the flying to Saudi Arabia. However, I would think it's quite fucking high. Meanwhile, of course, Starmer wants you to fucking walk the streets and drive around without a car or a taxi or a bus or a lorry or anything. So quite an interesting Ayatollah ideology. But I mean, Starmer has to be the world's biggest grifter. And what I mean by that is he just seems to be, trying to become, trying to seem relevant, on the world stage. And with all the, with all the problems that we've got in the UK at the moment, wouldn't you thought that, first of all, the main priority would be to sort your own house out? And Donald Trump put this in a speech, actually, which was quite interesting. He did say that basically, Starmer should sort his own country out before he starts meddling in other people's affairs, which is actually quite true when you think about it. So, very, very interesting. And Starmer also said that we have just reached a great ceasefire, quote. No, you haven't, Starmer. The ceasefire was already done before you actually left. So there wasn't really any point in you actually going. I mean, do you just want the dregs from the table? Is that what you're there for? To lick arse? I mean, probably you're quite good at that. But anyway, 33 people. 33 billion. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Anyway, not to worry. Now, of course, we come on to the Melania speech. What was the reason? What was the outcome? There's so many questions regarding this, and there is, of course, as there are many questions, there are also many answers. Now, someone said to me, "Are you anti-MAGA?" And I said, "No, I'm not anti-MAGA. I'm not anti-anything. I'm here. My job is to bring you the stories that are being floated around and the information that has been floating around for you to make your own mind up regarding everybody. Because I think one of the exercises of this, should we say, pantomime, is basically for everyone to have a very impartial view and to basically and to question everything. Now, remember, the reason that we're in the mess that we're in is because we didn't question everything. We trusted people to be in positions of power to represent the people. Unfortunately, those people haven't represented the people. So it's now time for the people to represent themselves. And so my job is not to choose sides. My job is to sit at 40,000 feet and based on the information that we can psychically pick up, based on the visual information that we can see, i.e. body language, the way that people project themselves, etc., then we will make a decision on that. Now, I spoke about the Melania speech yesterday. I gave you my ideas of what I noticed, okay? And then, of course, we come to today, which is a very interesting day because, of course, it is, of course, the 11th of the 4th. Now, on the 11th of the 4th, okay, we need to have a very open mind. And we need to have a very open mind tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after that. And we need to know that there's any possibilities, okay, regarding the people that we trust or the people that we are looking at or the people that we hold to account, so to speak, okay? Now, the Melania speech yesterday, very interesting speech. Few things that I noticed, which I spoke about yesterday. Today we find out, or over the last few hours, we found out that there is actually a UK book coming out. I'm going to find out a bit more about this because I'm not quite up to speed with it. But this book is called The Rise and Fall of the House of York. Clearly talking about the Yorks, clearly talking about Andrew, clearly talking about the connections. Now, in the book, there is clear mention of Epstein, Trump, Melania, and of course many other people. Okay, not just two people, but many other people. Now, then it comes to light that we find out that a guy called Paolo Zampoli, or Zambini sounds better to me, but Polly will go with, is a great friend of Donald Trump. Apparently, Paolo introduced Trump to Melania back in the day. Now, Paolo, okay, apparently ran a modeling agency, a loose term for escorts, high-class escorts, okay, in New York. And he specialized in Eastern European women. Tumbleweed, okay? Okay. Now, Paolo is in a custody battle with a woman called Amanda Ungaro, I think it is. Ungaro, not quite sure. Now, don't know whether these two were married, but they clearly had a child together, and Paolo is in a custody battle with Amanda. Now, after the Melania speech yesterday, Amanda came out and absolutely went ballistic. Now, basically, apparently, Amanda stayed great friends with Melania's parents, etc., etc., etc. And, of course, she went off on a massive rant yesterday in regards to the Melania speech. Now, I'm sure that will come out in maybe a few days' time and there'll be more details. But at the moment, that's what happened. Now, another interesting thing to remember about Paolo is Paolo managed somehow to get Amanda deported to Brazil. And when Amanda was ranting, she spoke about being detained by ICE. She didn't say that she'd gone to Brazil, but she spoke about being detained by ICE and that Melania knew about it. That's interesting. That's key. So there are I think it was Amanda also said that Paolo tried to pay her to keep quiet. Okay. So this is quite an interesting situation that we now find ourselves in regards to everything that's going on. So my advice is use your discernment, use all of your psychic senses, and basically pay attention to what's going on. Sit yourselves at 40,000 feet and don't get pulled in. Right, I'm going to get myself off. I've got loads to do. We will see you all again later on today for more exciting episodes of the Fruit and Nut News. Love you loads. Take care. We will see you all again very, very shortly.